Psalm 88 says, O Lord, the God who saves me, day and night I cry out before you. May my prayer come before you. Turn your ear to my cry, for my soul is full of trouble, and my life draws near the grave. Hey parents, Ryan here. Emotions run high sometimes. It's true for our kids, it's true for us, but the Bible doesn't shy away from emotions. We worship a God that is full of emotions. But how do we use our emotions in godly ways? Well, Kate Barnes, our social worker and outreach minister here on staff, is going to share some tips and strategies with us on emotional intelligence with our kids, and also some helpful coping skills that we can use along the way. Check it out.
Hi everybody, my name is Kate Barnes and I am the new outreach minister here at Saturn Road, and I'm also a licensed social worker, and today we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence, why it's important, ways to work with it, that kind of thing. So first we're going to start out by defining it. So emotional intelligence is the ability to identify and manage your own emotions as well as other people's. And kind of talking about that, why is that something that we need to know how to do? How does that apply to all this time during COVID? Why is it something we need to work on? And it's important to be able to do that, to be able to manage the differences between your feelings and your actions. That's kind of what it comes down to, how your feelings lead into your actions, how those might be influenced, how your actions may be influenced by your feelings, that whole thing. And COVID specifically is a big time of stress that isn't necessarily spoken. So, and kids are definitely feeling that stress, and so being able to kind of identify that and see how that may be going through actions as well, again, is why we need to talk about emotional intelligence and why it might be something to spend some time on and grow that skill. And so, like I said, it helps by identifying our emotional intelligence. We're able to identify our feelings and we're able to connect those to our actions. And that's important for being able to label where we are, what we're doing in the moment, and also take away some of the shame about feeling certain feelings. And then another thing is when kids sometimes get really amped up or sad or excited, they may not be able to tell where those feelings or those actions or feelings are coming from. So being able to kind of tie back into that and just have some explanation for it is kind of the importance behind emotional intelligence. So the first part about that is being able to name your emotions. So I have a fun little wheel that you can find printed off on the internet, and it just has different types of emotions for different moments, different all of that. And I like this one specifically because it starts with simpler ones and then it expands into bigger ones. So the kids may not be able necessarily to understand what some of these bigger emotions are, but it's also a really cool teaching moment for the parent to be able to share with the kid. So for example, you could be like, I feel embarrassed when X happens, right? So being able to have the parent as the example for saying, this is when I sometimes feel this emotion. So being able to teach through that. And also having the kids be able to be like, this is where I am today, and like creating kind of a normalcy in that. And then also implementing some coping skills when those feelings may be exacerbated sometimes. So things like breathing, really regulating breathing. There's a ton of tools on the internet to work with that. One of my favorites is a breathing GIF. You can identify and it expands, and every time it expands, the kid breathes out, and every time it goes in, you breathe in. And so just constantly doing that until you're kind of regulated again is great. Also doing artwork or anything artistic like that is a really good coping skill to maybe kind of bring the kid back down, get them focused on something, and then once you're able to do that, move into the next part, which is problem solving. And it's really important to do that last so that we're able to problem solve when we're kind of on a lower emotional scale. To be able to talk about, okay, why was this happening? What event led to this? What can I do to work through that? How can I maybe do this differently next time? So, and just having an open conversation about that, and then also being able to practice what we preach through that. So as parents, being able to be like, this is when I feel this emotion and I act this way, being able to call that out, just being able to, explain that to your kids in that way. And just being able to do these things that we're asking our kids to do and show them the importance behind that. just so that, when we grow up, we're able to maybe have more control over our feelings, our emotions, and our actions through that. Thank you for your time today, and I will see y'all later.